Alright, welcome back to our Priest PPE. We're starting off on a non-seasonal rogue here because like 2 months ago, Deca gave me a whole bunch of these Orcs Mania keys, and I haven't really used them. So I figured our Priest is just the perfect time to get that started. Do I think we're going to get anything of value from the 15 keys that I have? No. But we can still run it, and if we get a Retribution, that'd be pretty goated, or a T7. Not really a huge deal, but obviously these don't give us exalts, and we don't gain exalts from them, so, you know, we might as well do this. I'm not going to really have much to say about these. We're just going to kind of breeze through all 15 of them. Oh, wait! Penetrating Blast! Word! Hey! That's awesome! Wow! Cool! Oh, white bag. White bag. I got a divinity, huh? Cool. I mean, I got a full bag. No, it wasn't shiny. I would have said that. Dang. Okay, that's cool. You don't trust me. That's fair. I would have lied to your face about that. I finally got a red bag. It was a fucking annihilation. That sucks. Okay. For no, I repeat that. You would have just got a white bag. No. That's useless to us besides shiny horn. How many O3s have I done? Because these count as completes. Fucking 30 of them. Should have, yeah, okay. Dang.
It's less loot, though.
I know it's less loot. I just don't know by how much. I don't know if it's like 10% or whatever.
Lex Luthor?
Okay. Do you like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor? I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess he really likes Nicholas.
No, I like crab. I like crab.
POV SpongeBob. Hey, I got another intellect. Oh, it gives me +1 defense. Sure, gonna do that. I lied. Okay. Holy shit, I launched the game and just saw the hardest fucking splash art of my life. What the fuck was that? Saturn went crazy with that one. I got a Cogbolt key from a Cogbolt chest. Pro said round 2. Okay, sick. We can also, by the way, if I sit down and I do one more mountain temple, like the snake one, then I'm good for that. I get the thing. Where is Snake Invasion 2 key? I could just sit down and I could like do the infinite snake thing that other people do before they patch it. But seeing as I only need 3 of these
They're
things,
not gonna patch it, bro. It's 4 days left in the fucking patch.
seeing as I only need 1 of these things, I'm just gonna pop a key. See if that was worth it, because that took fucking forever. It wasn't worth it! Nice, I got a blue bag. I got a T6 quiver too, which not useful. Awesome though. Fuck, that took forever. But we get this stupid ring that we're not going to use. I don't like using campaign rings, but we still got it. Red bag, what if that's masking in it? What if that also has a engraving in it? It didn't. Okay. Not going to let you guys wait very long on that one. That did not have an engraving in it. Hey, ST. A Nectar Crossfire? What the fuck? I always forget the normal bees can drop that now. That's insane. Thanks, bro. Yo, would you look at that? I got a bee armor. I'm not even gonna pick it up. All right, well, that was useless. I mean, no, hang on a minute. We're 6 out of 15 now, and we got a fucking Nectar Crossfire that's gonna immediately go on the floor. Hey, hang on, hear me out. We're gonna pop a Cog and Ball Torture chest here, and it's gonna give us something magical. If that happens, I don't know. I'm gonna do a backflip. Okay. Not doing a backflip. Oh, I just got the ST sword. No way, Fallen One's blade. Word, from a gargoyle. As opposed to from Idol, but you know. Cool, honestly. Nice. Okay, sick. Have we gotten a single other piece? Oh, I was about to say, my previous priest did get another piece of this set. Hello? We got that double ST from Idol. Nice. Okay, we're doing pretty good on this set in spirit. You know, obviously not all on this one character, but that's kind of cool. I like this set. I really, really enjoy this set. We talked about Abyssal Insignia at the time. Abyssal Insignia is one of my favorite items in the game. I just got it white from a tablet.
Have to wait till
White from a tablet.
Oh.
It's a second Curus, guys. Don't worry. Low investment, low return. We got a second Royal Guards Curus on a non-melee PPE, despite spending months on melee PPEs and never getting one. Do you guys have an I feel statement for that? Because I sure as shit do. That blows chunks. Oh, and then the game was like, hey, do you actually also want a... That's not a Davite progenitor. That's something else. I also got a dagger. So, you know, that's cool. I told you, I felt it in my balls that tablets would not... Oh, okay. I got a Seraph's Guard, too. Sure, bud. Let's add more on. Okay, that's kind of bunts. Curus and then half the fucking ST set. And a Fallen One's Blade. We're getting everything we don't need from this. And then we're going to finally get a tier 14 Morningstar from this just to balance it out. So I keep doing this dungeon. Alright, we are once again returning to our A nests. I think this is a 4-chain, which doesn't quite put us up to where we need it to be. But that's fine. We did get our, if you saw there briefly, we did get our 3-5 on fungal. I DC'd from it, like, near the end, and for some reason it still gave me the, Alright, I guess we're gonna do it from down here. In case you're wondering how to do this, that's kind of how. That's the first time I've been paralyzed in a while. Okay. Yeah, Blender Phase isn't too bad. I can show the next one, you know, with like a bit of a better performance. Man, I didn't shoot there at all. The paralysis immediately was like, whoa! Man, you don't get paralyzed often, I'd say. That happens maybe once every like 10 or 15 runs. I don't know. It's the dodge you have to do for it is much easier on it's much harder on melee, because for melee, if you want to push in, you kind of got to be on this little inner track, which slows you down, and you have a worse angle to work with. But in general, if you want to dodge your A nests, it's better to go on the outer side. You have more speed and you have a better angle to work with. And speaking of work with, we're working with lack here. We didn't get anything from that. Alright, assuming that we don't eat shit again, you're going to want to stay on this outer rotate here, and there's going to be a gap between the shots. Move up, down, up, down, up, down. We're going to make a way over here. If they don't have the DPS, it's going to reverse, and you're going to go up, down, just like that. Generally the rule of thumb for the reversal is if you're up on that top side like that for more than like a second, you should probably start moving. If it starts to reverse and you're not ready for it, you're going to get slammed. I used to die or have the Nexus quite a bit to that when I was first starting these, because I wasn't ready for it to reverse. Generally, people know how to do these things well enough now that won't happen. That used to be different. Kind of like with the 03 guide where I talked about Dama. It's kind of like that. People, by and large, know what they're doing right now. He says eating shit in this A nest. People, by and large, will push in better now than they used to. You shouldn't get a reverse rotate in like a reasonably competent group. Speaking of reasonably competent, I suck. Well, they bailed after those two, so I mean, I guess we're up to 10 out of 15. That's pretty good. I got no qualms with that. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Only 15 left. We've gotten what, like 9 exalts so far in this character at 24,000 fame. It'll start to, the balls start to get rolling. We should probably go to like 2 voids or whatever to go get this. But yeah, I mean, honestly, hang on, pause. Now that we're making some progress on nests, the one problem that we have is defense. Honestly, defense. Yeah, that's it. Everything else is good enough. Everything else is about to be 3-5. Defense is going to be our huge problem. We're just going to do a bunch of NPC chains near the end of the character. Oh, word? I mean, we don't need it, but... okay, whatever. That's fine. Fork found in kitchen, you know. I mean... It's just for completion. We'll eventually probably farm for C1. I'm thinking, and this is very ambitious, if we survive to the point where I fully exalt, I think I'm going to end this series there, but I'm not going to end the character. I'll do the rest of it as a normal PPE from there on out. Mainly because there's like pretty much nothing to do for an episode besides sit there and like farm for items, which I don't think I want to keep like a series going where I'm just like farming for things and talking. I mean, I guess that's kind of what we're doing now, but there is a sort of a goal. Like, it'd be kind of cool if each episode I was sitting there going, all right, today we're going to sit down and do this group of dungeons. We're going to do parasites, we're going to do halls, and we're going to do whatever, you know, and to make it random, you know, that could be cool. And that's an option. And now that I'm sitting here, that could be a good idea. But I think realistically, I'm probably just going to end this series there if we survive that long again. And then I'll just work on it as a normal character. Obviously, by the time this happens, the season will have been over. I don't bail on characters when the season ends. It sucks to not get shinies, but if I survive the season, I will keep going because it doesn't make sense to me. By and large, if I survive this season, I'm at the point where I don't really need shinies because either I have them all or I've given up. Mainly that second point. I've given up. Oh, Jailer. Nice. That's cute. I really want this staff. I really, really wanted this. This would be sick. Let's kill some of the enemies around it just for personal safety. Okay, well, so much for personal safety. We're getting... I didn't hit it once. Maybe I did. Okay. T6. Okay. Okay, by the way, we are finally at the part in the series and the season in general where I don't really do a lot of A nests typically early, so I always get like that little quest. Don't sweat it. Didn't want anything. But either way, as like a metaphor for love or whatever, we're at the part now where we're finally starting to consider advanced nests because we need engravings. We're late enough in the character, even if we don't get a shiny Fallen or a shiny Water Robe. I mean, all I'm saying, we could engrave the Deca. I got like 10 people on my Samurai who like berated me for engraving a Deca, but if we don't get a shiny Fallen, I think it would be more than anything else fucking funny to use an advanced nest engraving on a Deca. You know, I mean, we got a fucking Deca. I mean, like, you know, I got it at like 200 fame and I had jack shit. I feel like it would be kind of funny and it's not bad. It's 5 defense and 5 dex. Low key, I'd probably take an engraved Deca over a horn. And then, you know, we free up some inventory space, which means I can get my fucking Snake Eye ring back. Yeah, but either way, if we do get an engraving, realistically, we're not going to fucking do that. If we get that, I'm going to probably force a shiny Fallen just by spending like 5 or 6 days in the Shiny Hunters Discord and just like farming mountain temples. I am kind of at the point now where I really would like to replace our evocation. The problem is nothing that we can get a wand from has been cooperating well enough for us to do it. We haven't gotten anything from O3, and I really tried to force it with the O-Manias that we were farming the other day. I don't think I got... Oh, I have 2 keys left. Hang on a minute. We could think about doing that again, but we're trying to do O3s for that. We did our entire fucking Cogbolt Exalt just to try and get a wand. And then I didn't end up doing it, and we fucking finished Cogbolts. Shatters has been a little unkind to us. I think we're going to have to start dipping our balls in hard modes, by the way, to try and get a Catalyst back. Yeah, if we're not really getting anything that we need, I feel like Shiny Fallen is the most bang for our buck here, you know, because we have to now choose, now that we're approaching the end game, we have to choose which of these options we go for. And I feel like Lumiere or Retribution from O3 isn't really a good choice, especially because we're exalted in life. So we don't gain anything from that. Similarly, we're also exalted in mana, so we don't really get anything out of getting nothing, you know, like we can benefit to get, say, a couple blue bags from Archmage because we still get Shatters Exalts. The problem with doing Steamworks or O3 is that I've had no problem doing O3 up until this point, and I'm going to continue doing O3s just because whatever. But does that kind of make sense? We're losing a couple of our options here, which isn't a bad thing. It just narrows us down towards getting something like Shiny Fallen because it's doable in a large practice, but it's not quite so soul-sucking because we still need to do something difficult like the Advanced Nest where we gain twice as many Exalts. So I feel like Shiny Fallen is probably our best path to go down here just because Catalyst is, you know, it has a downside. We're silenced. So Catalyst has a little bit to take to it, and the fact that we have to risk our character doing hard modes, but we also get a Chrysalis and Shatters Exalts. So that's an option there. But I just feel like this little combination of something that I really want in the Shiny Fallen with our Dex Exalt is our lowest, besides, you know, that, which cross that bridge when we get there. But Shiny Fallen does also allow us, with the engraving, to get this up. So I feel like that is going to be where I prioritize. That's just kind of... We worked that one out, you know. We worked that one out. And that's just kind of what ends up happening when I get to this point in characters. I end up needing around 20,000 fame. I just choose one thing to go for. For my melees, it's normally Curus. I choose Curus that has the biggest bang for his buck. For a wand class, yeah, that's the same thing. For Archer, probably, I don't know, something like Quat or Void Bow. you kind or Void Quiver, you kind of got to. I hit this point and I start to prioritize. And right now, this is what we need. So I'm hoping the next episode or two we get there, because as soon as we get Shiny Fallen, that means we're still missing Puri or a Hallowed Language, which would be O3, which has its own set of benefits and drawbacks, obviously. But that's it. And then once we have a weapon secured, we can start to go back for Dex because we just need to start wrapping things up with that. So this is the one barrier. I think that we go for Shiny Fallen and we do A nests. Obviously, there are better options. And if any of you guys have anything that you would be like, you should probably go for this instead, I'd like to know. That's just my thought process. Oh, hey, white bag, hang on. Maybe Beekeeper? Damn! Okay, honestly, like, low-key, I think a Beekeeper would have been pretty cool. One, literally never had it. Just at all. Yeah, damn. And shiny, too, would have been sick. I like it. It's, like, off blue, isn't it? Like, almost like a slate gray. Either way, yeah, we only need this one last nest for our 3-5. Damn, I'm actually a little upset about that. No engraving so far, but this is only, like, what, the 8th A nest that we've done? Ah, good for you and your shiny flamethrower. Hope your balls pop. Yeah, would I have used it? I don't know. Slow shot speed items are weird. Lumiere is fine, but the rest of them, I don't really like slow shot speed items typically. But I think it would be just a fun item to have, and it would make clearing the Carboniferous... Ah, the hive's broken. It would make clearing the Carboniferous just a little bit more fun. So, oh well. We're still obviously looking out for engraving. If I get an engraving, I'm just going to sit there and, like, no life mountain temples. But if we don't end up getting an engraving, no big deal. One other thing, honestly, we should start going for fame bonuses. In a little bit, whenever I have time, I guess I'm going to start going for a tunnel rat, because holy shit, our fame is like barely above double. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna sit down for it. I think I'm only missing like 1 or 2 dungeons. I think one of them is probably like an abyss or something. I don't think I've done a single abyss on this entire character, which clocks. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably go wrap that up. Oh, come on, please. Please. Are we, like, doomed? Are we doomed to be stuck with this? Anyways, here's our Mana Exalt. Are we fucking cursed to be stuck with the evocation? Wow. Okay. All of our stats are 3-5 or above, except for defense. Man, that sucks. Okay, 13 Exalts left. Holy shit. We're kind of getting close. It's going to be really cool when we hit single digits. Obviously that's like, going to be the last big push. And we still have to do like 40 of a couple of these things and, a billion fucking voids for our defense. But it's going to be really cool to see that as a single number. So if we don't die, we're coming up on that. Also, when are you RLing again? Good question. And, like, honestly, yeah, good question. I have given some, like, genuine consideration towards returning to raid leading, and just for fun. Genuinely, that's it, just for fun. The problem... Hello, can I hit this guy? The problem with that being is that, by nature of who I am, there's no way I would sit there and, like, actually lead. I would get distracted. Like, I can barely even hold, like, one commentary session without sitting here going, well, what server was I from? That's an interesting question as well. I have led in a lot of servers. I briefly led in Null. I've led in pub halls. I led in OSANK before I was banned from OSANK. Yeah, I've led in pub chats. I've led in briefly Dungeoneer. I wanted for pest control. I wanted to do Fungal Cavern. But yeah, I've led in quite a lot of servers. And I think, honestly, it's not too late for me to return to it. I genuinely thought about, for this character, returning to pub halls as an Exalt leader. I'm an organizer in Shiny Hunters. Right now, that's good enough for me because that's VC-less. I don't think I could do VC runs, given the fact that, especially because I do this now, commentary, I feel like it would be a touch awkward if in, like, the middle of an Archmage fight, I was just like, all right, and now we have to, I don't think I could, like, balance that very well, which isn't to say that I haven't done in the past. In the past, I've done that, like, very easily, but I've always felt slightly uncomfortable about that, I think, I'm not really much for advertising my content towards people. And it's interesting because I have, like, quite a bit of a loud minority, I think, of people who are like, yes, I know who you are. for me. But I do get like definitely the other half of who the fuck is this? People who don't recognize that I do YouTube. And I'm pleased about the fact that in the last like 2 or 3 years, the ratio has gotten considerably more balanced. And I was going to say smaller, but no. Larger in favor of people who have heard of me versus people who have not heard of me. Which is kind of cool to think about. Obviously, I don't let that go to my head, but I think that's really interesting. As an aside, after this 03 here, I'm going to probably end this episode. This has been recorded over quite a large period of time, like 5 or 6 days. So I'm admittedly not very sure as to how long this is. Given one or two things is about to happen. You guys are about to have a 5-minute long monologue of me in my vault where I consider which of the endgame options for weapons I want to go for, and I ultimately landed on Engraved Fallen, or I'm going to cut that. I feel like this episode is at the length where I have included that, in which case, cool. And if not, there you go. I'm going to probably target Engraved Fallen. But I think this is at the length where I'm going to keep that in. Either way, for next episode, we are at the point now where both, due to the fact that I have a lot of pre-recorded videos, I'm starting to edit episode 6 right now. I'm about a third of the way through to give you scale. It is currently the 11th of February. Just, again, scale. Next episode, I think I'm going to try to exalt my attack. I know that's a lot right there. I think we can get that done. I think I can exalt my attack. 1, if I prioritize it, and 2, given the fact that I have a bunch of pre-recorded footage, if I do not prioritize it, that means that if I fuck around in a bunch of O3s, or like it takes me a bunch of shatters to exalted versus spec pens, which would be considerably faster, that means I have enough video footage piled up in advance where I would upload like 1 or 2 episodes every 3 days or so I can spend about a week exalting my shatters. Does that make sense? And from there, I don't know. I genuinely do not know. I don't know what we're going to do after we exalt shatters, because we could go for nests more. We could do fungals. We have like we have options, and admittedly and obviously our options are narrowing because we're approaching the end game. Please don't be Gemsbok. We could bail. The only reason I'm going to say no on leaving right now is for retribution and for completion. Because if we get a monocle here, it means in the future we can nexus on site from Gemsbok runs. We are honestly at the point where retribution is the chance for retribution is eclipsed by the satisfaction of seeing Gemsbok and leaving instantly. The only reason we need this fight is for completion, for our monocle. And there are other things we could be doing instead, like if it's like the middle of the day and people are active and we see a Gemsbok run and I'm like, hey, I already have monocle, chance of retribution, let's do a shatters because that gives us an exalt as well as the chance for mantle, catalyst, reckoning, which is the 14 morning star. I'm gonna call, okay, hang on, sorry, I'm listening to Ribs by Lord, gotta say, big Lord fan. Pure Heroine, only a 17-year-old girl could have made that album. And for those of you who know, Ribs is one of the best songs of all time, in my opinion. Got an email! That guy could have killed me! Second or third time that's happened. Considering, I listen to Black Country New Road and whatnot. My advocation for Ribs is crazy, but I think Ribs by Lord is one of the best songs ever made. I think it encompasses the idea of being a teenager and growing up perfectly. And I'm saying this as someone who is 22 years old right now, but has been playing this game since I was literally a child. Crazy. I'm going to sidebar from my current conversation that we're having about the game and talk a bit more about myself. So my roommate and I right now are watching Death Note. I'm kind of a casual anime fan. You know, I'm not like hugely. How long on a loot boost? Okay, it's not worth it to pop loot boost for Gemsbok rather. The chance of completion is outweighed by the waste of 10 minutes. Yeah. So my roommate and I are watching Death Note. Death Note. I want to say it came out in like 2007, but I think I actually watched it when I was probably about 10 years old. I'm 22 now. I think maybe I was 11. You know, I'm 22 years old now. So I watched this show half my life ago. And given the fact that you don't really remember the first like 3 or 4 years of your life and upwards of like 5, depending on, you know, whatever, I feel like that's crazy. By the way, I think my first memory was actually like my first thing I can solidly remember right now, besides like, you know, snippets here and there, you know, vague things, is my 5th birthday. And like we had this like what's the term? What is it called? Bounce pad? No, like one of those big inflatable like balloon. No. Why the fuck am I forgetting this? You know, it's kind of like a bounce pad, but it's like a big inflatable thing that you're inside. My older brother sprained his neck in one of them. If either of my other siblings are watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Bounce castle, kind of bounce castle. I don't know. It's 2 a.m. Gotten. Hang on. Let's not die like that. Sorry, bro, if you watch my videos. Lol, you just died on camera. Either way, I remember my 5th grade birthday party, and we had one of Diego from what the fuck? My loot boost made that incredible. From Dora. That's my first memory. Anyways, so barring the first 5 years of my life, a Death Note, I watched that when I was like 10, right? So it's crazy to come back at 22 years old. By the way, gotta say, my roommate and I, when we talked about this, there was the obvious discussion that I'm going to spoil this. I'm going to spoil the show. If you have not seen Death Note, by the way, if you haven't seen Death Note and you're into anime, would highly recommend you check it out. I'm going to spoil it. All right. When L dies, we're going to skip to the end of the show. I didn't really fuck with Nier and the other one, whatever the other one's name was. I didn't really fuck with it, you know, just kind of, especially Nier. Nier felt like an L duplicate, and that was like not the same. Anyways, Matsuda, by the way, goated character, but the fact that Matsuda survives until the end, perfect. The fact that he started with like this childlike innocence, and he was like portrayed as a very innocent person, and he's the one who, if I'm not mistaken, shot light in the end. Perfect. When I talked about it with my roommate and we agreed we were going to bail, you know, as soon as L dies, we're going to quit, I had said, hey, one exception. I want to watch the very last episode of the show. For those of you who have seen the show, do you guys subscribe to the idea of Light being that Shinigami at the end? I feel like it was confirmed somewhere that he wasn't. I personally subscribe to the idea that he was that Shinigami. I know it goes against the rules, you know, I got weekend, I fucking suck. If only we had a Puri. Whoops, bad hit to take there. By the way, in case you guys are curious, 60 manners. Crazy. Anyways, I personally, headcanon, you know, whatever, subscribe to the idea of him being that Shinigami with the glasses that we see at the end. Anyways, Death Note, goated show. The first time I watched it, I was like 10 or 11 years old, and now I'm watching it as like a full adult. I'm like, damn, this show is crazy good, you know? So if you haven't seen Death Note and you have a Netflix subscription, or alternatively, Soper.tv, if you have an ad blocker, uBlock Origin, would highly recommend. Going to pivot back towards gameplay for right now. Please note, when we did the O3 tutorial, I stayed on this, you know, tower, or I went topside. And you notice right there, I stayed right here at around 335 degrees, and that's not 335. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done calculus. That was a personal. That's a personal thing. Not like that's because I've done so many, like thousands of these things, that it's like I can recognize that that's where I need to stand there. If you don't have that, if you're like new to O3 and that trips you up, that's fine. You know, 100%. Part of O3 is learning to fail, or part of the game, or part of life in general is learning to fail. So, like, where I did my O3 tutorial where I said stand here, stand at the tower, and then stand up here, etc., and you get that one rotate where it doesn't work for you, and you're like pissed at me. First off, that's 100% fine. It's something I completely forgot to include. I could have stayed lower, towards the tower, in which case I would have had to have done a weird dodge. But that's just because I've done so many of these things that I recognize that first pattern. Like, I can't describe it. I recognize that first pattern where I go up to here wouldn't have worked. Whereas with this celestial rotate, I can stay closer to the tower, and it does work. But I've done so many of these things that it's instinctive to move up there in the middle of me talking, and I've established by now that I'm a horrible multitasker. It just works. I've just done so many of these things, and it's the type of thing where I can't really put into words. He died really that early? Okay, nice. We'll pop loot boost here. We'll trade the guy earlier who DM'd us. And yeah, we'll wrap up the episode. I think, honestly, hang on, pause. We may do something. I think I'm going to spend the rest of my current realm gold on mana keys. I'm going to try and force a Puri. Blue bag. Red bag. What if it's something useful? I'm saying no. And I was right. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I mean, he got us a red bag. He guarantees himself in the video or whatever. Yeah, I wasn't lying. 141. It is currently, yeah. It's 1 in the morning. Sorry. Apologies there. Okay. 42. They're on discount. Nice. I'm going to not trash the king mark. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to be right back. You guys are all... Why the fuck would you do that? I'm going to just spend the rest of my realm gold on manners. I'm going to try and force a Puri. If it kills me. So be right back when I spend 800 or... Did it just take my money? Anyways, when I spend 680 gold on keys, I'm desperate. I've spent this entire time farming for manners. I'm done. Is this a bad idea because we could theoretically end up getting a Puri early? Yes, but we're gonna also do like fuck it, 15 mana keys. Fuck it, why not? Have we gotten this whole set now? I feel like honestly I haven't gotten the fucking armor. Either way, new season just started. Yeah, damn. This is getting a little crazy. We got one more of these mana keys left. Oh, fucking, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We could theoretically buy a couple more. I don't think I want to buy more mana keys. I'm curious. Let's do this last one, and let's see how many manners we've done on this character. I didn't really bother to check. I want to say probably somewhere around like 60 feels high. I don't know. I feel like I've been doing any time I have some downtime, like there's like nothing up, I just go back to the realm and I farm manners. So I mean, I don't know. This could be a much higher number than we want it to be. I feel like I'm going to get a Puri in under 100. I feel somewhat confident about that. Now that I'm saying that out loud, the game's like, jackass, you're not getting it at all. Yeah, I don't know. Do I think I'm gonna go for a shiny Puri? If I get a regular one, at this point, absolutely not. we've been here for too long. Let me go. That is to say, if we get this, I don't really know what we're gonna go for next. Like what's our next like big objective item after Puri? We don't have much mid game. I mean, Fallen obviously. We could go for Water Robe, but that's a much more annoying farm than this. But I feel like it's kind of more common. I don't know. I feel like either way, I'm kind of cucked. All right, last one. Drum roll. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say 62. Let's give it 62. There's no way. If this ends up being 62, I will show you like that entire manor clip. Fuck it. I'll show you all the manners. I don't know. It's gonna be like 30. 76. Okay. Holy shit. We're not getting this thing before 100. Never mind. We're not getting this thing before 100. That's not happening. Okay. Holy shit. 76. Okay. Yeah, I think honestly, for the next episode, I'm gonna say this. My goal is going to be to get our attack exalt. I said that I would get Steamworks done within 5 to 10 episodes, and then I got it in then like what I think the next. So I feel like this is gonna be the reversal, where I'm gonna say I'm gonna do my attack exalt, and then I just won't. So but if we do get it done, fantastic. Yeah, shit. Maybe we get a catalyst in the last 20 of these things we need to do, or Moonlights give us something, but we're not in the market for a better rope. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming. If you guys have enjoyed, please let me know, and yeah, I'll see you all later.